Okay, good evening. We are continuing with 3 minutes of Tehillim. We're up to Perek Lamed Beis, Psalm 32. The David Maskil. Ashrei Nisui Pesha. Praiseworthy is someone who is forgiven of their sin. Kisui Chata. And their sins are hidden away. Ashrei Adam Lo Yachshov Hashem Lo Avon. And praiseworthy again is the man who Hashem does not ascribe iniquity to. Ve'ein Berucho Remiyah. And there is not in his spirit deceit. We've mentioned this beginning in the first Perek, in our first chapter of Psalms, that the translation for the word Ashrei that appears in the Hirsch Tehillim is very unique, very interesting. He defines it as forward strides. Forward strides. So how does that fit into this Perek? Another question that I want to ask is that it says in Mishlei that Mechaseh Pisha'av Lo Yatzliach. If someone covers over sin, they are not successful. So why are we praising a person who covers over sin, who hides things away? If you don't admit to the wrongs you've done, that's generally not a good thing. So it's really a klutz kasha, it's a straw man, because if you look further in the Perek, in Pasuk Hey, the David Melech says explicitly, Chatasi ode'acha, that I told you about my sin, va'avoni lo chasisi, and I did not hide away my iniquities. I didn't try to, keep this under the, hide it under the rug. So, but it's interesting that this pasuk of Mechaseh Pisha'av Lo Yatzliach from Mishlei actually appears on the Matzeva of Rav Shimon Schwab. It's not exactly clear why he wrote that. It's not a very typical thing to write such a pasuk. But I was hearing Rav Moshe Bamberger, who comes from the Yeki, the German descent. He said that the story is that Rav Schwab used to always tell his children, if you made a mistake, fess up, admit you made a mistake, and then move on. Don't try to hide it away. And he said that Rav Schwab, when he was younger, he was sent by his mother to go buy some groceries at the store. So she gave him a certain amount of money, and he had extra money. So he had the extra money, and he decided he's going to buy a chocolate bar with the extra money. So he comes home, ate the chocolate bar, maybe a little chocolate on his cheek, and his mother says, "Where's the change?" He's like, "No change, no change." And she's, obviously the mother sees the chocolate on the mouth, so she decided to say nothing. Friday night, his father whispered something to him by the bracha that got him to admit to what happened. If you want to know, I'll tell you. It probably doesn't work anymore in the 21st century, but if you want to know, I can tell you afterwards what he said. But it was very, very core to Rav Schwab's belief. Just, you made a mistake, everyone makes mistakes. You just have to admit you made a mistake and we can move on. And that's perhaps the difference between this in Perek Tehillim and the Pasuk. The Pasuk in Mishlei is saying if you try to cover it up and try to escape, that's a problem. But in Tehillim, we're saying, no, if Hashem, we admit to our wrongs, and then we're asking Hashem to help us and not be paralyzed by our mistakes. That's why we're saying Ashrei. Forward striving means we can move on from the past. Things that we made a mistake in the past, it's the past. You made a mistake, you right your wrong, you move on, and you continue going forward striving. Ashrei, Nasui Pesha, and Kisui Chata.